London and its neighbourhoods, and that's of communal tension in town after town. The latest being Smithwick in Birmingham. After Leicester, mobs surrounded a Hindu temple in Smithwick, and video shows hundreds surrounding a temple chanting religious slogans, making obscene gestures at people inside the temple complex. British police was forced to intervene as tensions continued overnight. Men were seen climbing temple walls again. Remember, just a few days back, we had similar pictures coming in from Leicester, and before that, during a match between India and Pakistan. We have a guest joining us live from London, Manu Khajuria. Welcome. If I could begin by asking, Manu, you are there in London. These are Pakistani mobs. These are, those typical Indian citizens, but against the BJP government in Delhi, and that's why they are orchestrating this. And what is the scale of orchestration, preparation and planning that has gone into this violence and vandalism?
Thank you, Abhishek, for discussing this very important, untoward incidents that are happening in UK. Well, let us be very clear that this is basically attacks on peaceful Hindus in United Kingdom by Islamist extremist mobs. This is who they are. And if you are going to ask about what the nationality is, there is a particular poster which is pretty much viral on social media, which is calling on a series of attacks. There is a schedule actually that after Leicester, Birmingham Mandir has to be attacked, which happened yesterday. Today, there is a temple in Nottingham, which is on the next list of attack. So this is a very pre-planned and an organized Islamist extremist attack on Hindu homes, Hindu properties and temples. And now, clearly, from what has happened in Birmingham after Leicester, clearly looks like it is going to happen in many different cities in UK. Wherever there are Hindus living, wherever there are mandirs, this is an organized, planned attack. And in this particular poster, which has been calling out Muslims from all across or from different backgrounds, and I'm quoting the poster, these are not my words, there are 8 flags of Islamic Republic nations, out of which one is Pakistan. There is no Indian flag there, but there are 8 flags of 8 different Islamic nations on this particular poster, which is rallying mobs, radicalized mobs, to come and destroy property, damage, cars, Hindu cars, cars belonging to Hindu families, temples, etc. So as of now, 100 Hindu properties have been damaged in Leicester.
Yeah, Manu, I'll come back to you. You made an important point about the kind of preparation that has gone into it. Let's listen into one soundbite of one of those vandals that were at the temple in Smithwick, and then I'll come back to you, Manu. Just hold on. Let's listen into the soundbite.
Yo, this is a message from Birmingham to all the BJP and the RSS Hindu supporters. You're not welcome in Birmingham. You're not welcome in Leicester. You're not welcome in Nottingham. You're not welcome anywhere in the UK. None of your speakers, anyone you're trying to call these hate speakers that come down, we're going to turn up for all of them. So stop organising this bullshit. We're here now, outside the Mandir. It's a peaceful protest. We're not causing no trouble. But we turned up just to let you know, if you come down, we're all going to be here for you. Promise, look, show them, look around. Even the speakers cancelled. Look how many men have turned up. We've got no issue with Hindus that are from Britain. We've got no issue with British Hindus. We grew up with them, we know all of them. But the rest of you BJP, RSS freshies, if you come in, you're going to get met by us every single time. So if you want to come to Birmingham, Leicester, Nottingham, London, just give us a time and a place and we're there.
All right, coming back to you, Manu. We heard this soundbite of this hooded balaclava wearing mobster who was there at Smithwick. They are saying this BJP, RSS, Hindutva. There was nothing associated with, it was not a BJP event that was targeted in Smithwick. It was not a BJP or RSS event, in fact, that was going on in Leicester when the crowds came out. And the preparation, that bit that you were talking about, it's very clear, be it the posters, be it this hoodie, and the entire mob coming out in a manner that they can conceal their identities from law enforcement. there seems to be a plan, seems to be method in the madness, and there seems to be an objective clearly, Manu. That is to intimidate the Hindu community there in London and its neighborhood towns.
Absolutely, Abhishek, because the 100 Hindu properties that have been damaged in Leicester, this is in East Leicester, have clearly, these mobs have not gone into the homes asking people's political ideology. So this whole, there is no BJP or RSS in Britain, this is United Kingdom. So clearly this is misinformation. This has just become a rallying call, and this is also to justify the violence that is being meted out, the vandalism that is happening against Hindus in UK. So the way they have identified homes and doors have been broken, window panes have been shattered, cars have been smashed, and in a home in Leicester where there was a Ganpati Pujan happening, eggs have been thrown in, 2 Hindu youths have been stabbed, Bhagwat Dhwaj, which is not associated with either BJP or RSS, just a religious flag on a temple has been pulled down and burnt. This has happened by these radicalized mobs identifying Hindu markers like an Om or a Shubh Labh on the doors or a little Ganpati inside a car. This is how 100 properties have been damaged.
You're making an important point. You're making an important point. 100 properties damaged, 2 Hindu youths stabbed. What is the law enforcement doing? Is the police doing something about it? Is the local administration even aware that this is happening in a planned, orchestrated manner over a period of time, that they should be acting, they should be getting those culprits to book?
It's a very important question, because the Hindu community, the British Indian diaspora, British Hindu diaspora has been in constant touch with the authorities. And East Leicestershire Police, in fact, was overburdened. As you know, the country was busy with the Queen's funeral. But I have to say that they failed to provide protection to the Hindu families, because there has been a lot of misinformation and fake news peddling on social media by very well-known Islamists like Majid Freeman, Muhammad Hijab, etc. And police took its time to actually refute these statements, say that, to debunk these statements and release a press statement saying that this is not true, a mosque has not been attacked. There was a false allegation on a Hindu youth for kidnapping a Muslim secondary schooler. Again, it took 2 days for the police to come back and say, no, this hasn't happened. The Hindu youth in question was actually out of the country, and yet his neighborhood was terrorized. From the nights between 4th September to 7th September in East Leicestershire, the Hindu neighborhoods, the Hindu homes have been, the Hindu families have been terrorized. And this is a working class, this is not such an affluent neighborhood. So you have people who actually have to go out to work every day to keep their homes running, and they have not been able to do so. Again, the Birmingham incident that we saw yesterday, the diaspora from across the country in UK was writing to the Birmingham police, calling them up, tagging them on social media and saying this is going to happen. You can see Instagram posts, you can see all these posters viral, and yet, as you saw, there is an individual walking, standing up on the wall of the Durga Mandir, making these obnoxious, absolutely obscene gestures towards the Durga Mandir. And it is very worrisome, considering that there is Navratri coming up, there is Diwali coming up, and important to again highlight that outside India, the biggest Diwali public celebration takes place in Leicester. So this is a very planned, very well thought out attack to reduce Hindus, to oppress them, to scare them. And there is, without question, the Hindus are terrorized.
Right.
We've heard of reports from Leicester where Hindus have started removing the torans from their door, the Om or the Shubh Labh on their doors, so as not to be easily identified. The kalava on their wrists, etc. People are actually, the chatter amongst the diaspora is remove all the Hindu markers so as not to be identified by these radicalized mobs who are, they use the word freshies. So they are also trying to divide the Hindu community by saying the ones that who came late, say for 40 years back, are okay, but the ones who are coming into the country in the last maybe decade
Manu,
are not okay. So they are trying to say that they are the ones who are going to control who is going to come in and who is okay to live and where they should live and which areas they should go into. And this is absolutely against the British law. But sadly, the police has to and needs to do more, especially in the view that all the festivals, the Hindu festival, important festivals are coming up. And there are a lot of public celebrations which take place in these different cities across the country.
Yep. Manu, thank you so much for that perspective from London. Clearly, a nefarious design playing out there in London and its neighborhood to mark out no-go areas for the Hindu community. We'll keep close tabs of that story from the United Kingdom